Today we are checking out how one couple retired early in Colorado with only $540,000 of savings.
I started getting diagnosed with some fairly serious medical ailments. I just began to realize that I had been working for a retirement that I may never enjoy. We just knew we wanted the freedom to make our own choices.
This is what financial freedom is all about, and health can be a huge motivator in this. So the FIRE movement stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, and that is what this couple achieved, and their motivation was this health reason. And I think this can be a big wake-up call for all of us because health is not guaranteed, and we don't know how long we're going to live and what kind of health we might be at retirement. So I think this brings out some really important questions for us to be asking. Even if we don't want to retire early, we might still be thinking about what do we want our life to be like now if tomorrow is not promised, if 30 years from now is not promised. This is why I think it can be really useful to have a few different tracks. Like I have my long-term track. I know that I am set if I make it to 70 and I retire then and I don't do any sort of work after that, I will be okay. And then I also have my short-term plans for enjoying life a little bit now and making sure we're still having those fun experiences, spending time with the people that are really important to us, and not neglecting everything that is really true to us until later when we have our financial life together. This does mean that I'm taking some more expensive trips now, like to Disneyland, because I know that the people that I have now and the kids that I have now at this age, that's not going to last forever. And I want to make sure that I enjoyed it while I had it and didn't just wait until I had my money together, I had my business together.
We'd started to accumulate real estate in the vein of let's have an additional source of income besides my job. We accumulated 19 units over the span of just from 2016 to 2019.
I'm Debbie.
And I'm Chris.
We are 43 and live in Colorado and retired by the age of 40.
That millionaire status feels like something we should be reaching for or striving for, and it feels like a big accomplishment. But if you can accomplish your goals and your desires and live the lifestyle that you want with less than that, then you don't need to get to that mythical goal of being a millionaire. So I love that this couple has really dug deep into what are their priorities, what do they want to spend time on, and what it actually costs to do what they want, when they want, how they want. Sometimes we don't know the actual numbers for what our dream would actually take us. So this is a really good exercise to do because it might not be as high a number as you think. Now, if some of your dreams are caviar dreams, that's going to take a lot more money. But if part of your dreams are having a flexible work schedule, going on a walk with your family, somewhere sunny, those things can be accomplished at a certain number level. You might be able to accomplish those things with less money than you think.
I remember reading The Millionaire Next Door. It was eye-opening to me because the stories they highlighted in that book were very similar to what we did. Once it became in that realm of reality that I could maybe be a millionaire, then I did become fascinated with the idea of being a millionaire in both healthy and unhealthy ways.
I really appreciate this couple's example because they didn't make an astronomical amount of money to make this financial independence happen. As you saw, he was making $110K a year and she was making $32 a year. So it's not like they were making $500,000 off of surgeon salaries and then, of course, they got to financial independence. These are pretty ordinary people, and she even retired in 2014 because her health issues got too serious. So this really shows the power of diligent budgeting and smart investments and how they used real estate and leveraged that to become retired.
Once Debbie left her job, we're now completely dependent on my job. Honestly, I'm sure there was more than this, but I tell the story that basically I just stopped going to Subway. Obviously that's not the whole case, but that's all it really felt like. Once we started tracking our spending a little bit better with budgeting, I was the guy that was always trying to turn the knob down on our spending.
Chris used to think it was fun to try to spend $100 a month on groceries and just eat what came out of the pantry.
I have never spent only $100 on groceries, but this idea of eating out of your pantry can save you a lot of money and help you eat down your stock. I feel like some of us have more stock than we think, and that stock is worth money, which means it's just sitting there being unused. And if you could use it and not go to the store, then you'd be saving yourself a lot of money. But we buy a lot of fresh veggies and fruit, and that's not exactly shelf stable. Eating down your pantry is a great once in a while sorts of thing, but especially for medically fragile people, especially like the lady in the video, being healthy should always be a priority, even if it means that we get to our money goals a little bit slower because we were nourishing our body correctly. So I'm definitely recovering from being extremely frugal and wanting to prioritize my health above the let's see how little we can spend on food, because that can actually be dangerous.
Some people were building mega empires with rental real estate. I wasn't looking to do that. I just wanted to have additional income. And in the process of going from we don't know anything about being landlords and real estate owners to let's buy our first property, I scoured the internet and spent a lot of time listening to podcasts.
They're talking about what if he could quit his job if they invested in real estate. So this sounds super ideal and they pulled off something really cool, but you're kind of trading one job for another job. You're trading your 9 to 5 for being a real estate landlord. So maybe you have a manager and that might make it a little bit more passive, but being a landlord, it means that you are taking care of your tenants, you are doing repairs or scheduling repairs, and this takes time and money, which is just another job.
We were getting properties that other people didn't want. There was something that was a bit of an ugly duckling about them. For me, a very difficult part of this was a lot of elbow grease, fixing up the ugly things, working on the houses, getting smoke smells out, painting everything, tearing a bunch of flooring out. I'm spending full days over there.
Like I said, this is not passive, and this is part of what I have experienced also. If you want to get a property that's not really expensive and has some potential for cash flow, it means elbow grease. I know about this elbow grease because this has been true for us. We have bought in properties that maybe are not the prettiest when we get there. They're livable. That's kind of my standard, is I need to be able to live in it in a healthy way, and then but maybe it's really not so pretty. So this means we're tearing bathrooms down to the studs. I'm ripping up carpet on a Friday night. This is just reminding me of some of the absolute crazy things that I have done, like the time when we were closing on the next house in 10 days and we needed to get the house that we were living in rent ready. So I painted the entire inside of the house probably in about 10 days, every single wall in the house and all the trim. And I had 2 small children, one which was, I think he was like 8 months old. So absolute craziness, lots of late nights, long weekends. This is the part of real estate that sometimes people forget about. That part is not passive at all. So the title of this video didn't totally give us the whole picture of their retirement plan, because they have that $540K in their retirement accounts, but then they also have that $1.1 million in real estate. But that likely reflects the value of the total properties and not the value minus their mortgages. So if they sold all their real estate, they probably wouldn't end up with $1.1 million, but these properties are actively cash flowing for them, which is awesome. Also, if they could live off the cash flow from their rental properties and not touch that retirement money, it could just continue to grow and grow. And then if they started withdrawing on it later, it would be withdrawing off a much bigger bucket. I know they keep saying that they're retired, but look, she has another side hustle, which is great, of course, but this is the part of the FIRE movement that people forget about, is you might want to become financially independent, like you aren't dependent on a job to pay your bills, but you need things to do. You need projects, you need things to work on that you're passionate about, and that's where all those side hustles come in. And I also see people, they're doing social media, or they're making courses, or they're pursuing passion projects, or they're doing a lot of volunteering. I'm a lot less interested in that retire early piece because I want to keep doing things with my life and I want to keep creating value for people. And if you just retire and sit on the beach and read a book, I would be so bored. How long do you think that you could be totally retired and not get bored for? She finally got to write that book that she wanted to write. Now they're doing a podcast. So all these fun things that don't necessarily make a ton of money at the beginning, or maybe they even cost money, this has freed them up to do that because they are financially independent. And this is what financial freedom is really about, right? It's about the freedom to choose how you're spending your time and what sorts of things you do work on. Do you think FIRE is something that you would want to pursue, or are you only interested in that financial independence piece? If you like videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.